We started off at Water Tower Place, where thousands of people gathered in a huge display, and then marched down Chicago Avenue through piles and piles of horse that the police kindly provided for our path. Then we continued on to the Federal Plaza, and now we are completely occupying the space, all of the surrounding streets and a little ways down the block. We decided that it's more important to march in solidarity with the thousands, hundreds of thousands of people around the world who are marching today against the war, and we did just that, and it was a powerful event. It was an energetic, a very positive event. There's a definite feeling of expectation, of optimism in this crowd, and it's very refreshing to see. I feel like we're at a real turning point in the movement. People are starting to believe that change is possible.
It's important for us to get out and protest the war because it continues. The deaths of Iraqis by the thousands continue. The deaths of American GIs continue. The wholesale destruction of Iraqi sovereignty continues. Make no mistake, as much as this silly president talks about bringing democracy to Iraq, it's quite clear that the only kind of democracy that he will permit will be the democracy of a puppet regime which does the United States bidding.
We stopped in front of Daley's office to tell him how absurd we think it is and how disappointed we are in him as the mayor of an anti-war city with a city council that passed an anti-war resolution for not allowing us to be granted our permit to march today, as is our democratic right and our responsibility in times like this.
Mayor Daley, you and your Democratic Party machine, we hold you directly responsible for the death and destruction of civil liberties that we have seen here today. We're going to take this back down to Federal Plaza, but people have got to remember, we've got an enemy in Washington who opposes our civil rights. We also, unfortunately, have got an enemy here in Chicago who opposes our civil rights. Whoa! Let's march!
The exaggerated police presence here at our march today, and you know, all of the body armor, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle costumes that they have on, definitely kind of chills the set and makes a situation where people feel like, you know, they're doing something illegal to come out and join us in our protest. And it really, I think, deters dissent and hinders the democratic process. You know, I think it's very hypocritical that we claim to be venturing off into foreign countries to help promote democracy when we're going to such great lengths to try to deter it here at home.
Well, as we've had over the past few weeks, we've had a running battle with the city administration about the mere right to assemble. We didn't know when we got to Water Tower Park if they were going to allow us to set up sound. We didn't know if they were going to allow us to stay there and have a rally. And as it turns out, we did have a running verbal argument with Sherry Mecklenburg, the person who threatened to arrest me earlier this week, about whether or not we have the right to express our First Amendment rights at Chicago and Michigan.
You asked for space, they got you space.
What I'm saying, let them go down the side. Let us
With
go
no
front.
front at all?
We don't need them in the front of us.
Yeah, you know what, this is the way that they do it, and this is the
We
way
do not
it's
need
been
them in
peaceful,
front of us.
and
Let
this has
them-
never been a complaint before,
It
but
is
you asked
always-
for space, and we gave you space, and we'll continue to give you space.
Let them march sideways. We don't need them leading us. They're not our leaders. This is a violation, a real violation.
Reverend, we're not acting like your leaders, we're trying to give you space. Let's move it along, because there's people in the back who are having
We
problems.
need them to march laterally.
Reverend, we're having problems in the back.
Let's march.
Let's
We're
march.
having problems in the front because the police have been blocking it.
I want you to stop bringing.
Let's stop. We stop because they stop.
Movement begins at the front. Movement begins at the front.
utterly undemocratic. It's utterly oppressive. And I'm so proud that so many thousands came out here today to say that we're not only going to oppose this undemocratic regime on the national level, but also the undemocratic regime right here in the city of Chicago. So for those who say that this is just a problem of the Republican Party, look at our mayor. Look at who was directly responsible for the attempted suppression of civil liberties here today. This was not Ashcroft's Justice Department at work. It was Mayor Daley's cops, Mayor Daley's Sherry Mecklenburg, and the rest of them who are attempting to intimidate protesters from exercising their First Amendment rights.